Game time.
Papa's in the house.
Wow, what's all this?
I'm all about stats. For instance, have I got some numbers for you? Papa John's, a leader in online ordering.
You bet, Jim.
You were the first pizza company to offer it nationwide. What's the secret?
Jim, it's the pizza.
To celebrate our online leadership, get Papa John's new double pepperoni and bacon pizza for just $12.
Better ingredients
Better pizza.
and a better way to get it, papajohns.com.
A Moses Lake man was sentenced to 5 years in a federal prison for distribution of child pornography. Benjamin Brecky, a 23-year-old man, was sentenced Wednesday in federal court after pleading guilty in February to distribution of child pornography, according to U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Washington, Michael Ormsby. After Brecky serves his term, he remains under court supervision for the rest of his life and must register as a sex offender. Brecky gave 11 graphic child pornography images of an infant in a car seat to an undercover agent of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation on October 17, 2013. The next day, he was arrested and a federal search warrant was served for his cell phone. More than 1,500 child pornography images were found on his phone. A quick sightseeing trip to eastern Oregon turned into a life and death struggle for sisters from Vancouver. They got stuck in a snowbank, walked 12 hours to safety, and that's when one sister died. Reporter Amy Troy has the details.
They wanted to see eastern Oregon's Painted Hills. 80-year-old Sue Blake and her 72-year-old sister Stella Adamson took off Monday for an adventure.
No, we always had a good time.
She says it was a beautiful trip. On Tuesday, they took the scenic route home and ended up on Forest Road 52 where they hit snow.
One of the branches was down, like it would hit the windshield, so we went around it and ran into some mushy snow.
The conditions grew worse. Sue's SUV got stuck in the snowbank. With little food or water, no cellular service, and temperatures dipping into the 20s, they were forced to spend the night in the car.
So we put all of our clothes on, and we just stayed there all night long and turning on and off the engine to heat up the car every once in a while.
On Wednesday morning, they started walking. 12 hours later, they found a remote campsite.
It was a miracle.
She says a second miracle was finding a member of the Union County Search and Rescue there, Robert Bob Nelson. He and his wife fed them, let them spend the night in their camper. Overnight, Stella complained of chest pains. Nelson's trained for just such an emergency and knew the best option was driving several hours to the nearest hospital.
I'm in a situation where I'm on a mountain road. I saw absolutely no vehicle until I got to the hospital.
Stella died before they made it to the hospital. Then Nelson had the long drive back to the campsite.
So how do you get the emotions of that? I think it's like anyone. It's going to be emotional. I think the hardest part for me was going back and informing the sister that her sister died.
It was tough for sure, but Sue says she is grateful for the last few days shared with her sister.
A Moses Lake man will serve more than 18 years in prison after murdering a man he thought molested his daughter. Adrian Rodriguez, a 30-year-old man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to manslaughter in the first degree for the 2012 murder of Tracy Fulbright. Prosecutors initially charged Rodriguez with murder in the first degree and kidnapping in the first degree and lessened the charges as part of a plea agreement. Rodriguez's 11 prior felony convictions started in 1996. Judge John Antos sentenced Rodriguez to 18 years and 4 months in prison. Rodriguez accused Fulbright of molesting his daughter. He punched the man, tied him up, and drove him to Road L near Moses Lake. Rodriguez fired 2 shots, killing Fulbright. The family of a veteran is suing the VA Puget Sound healthcare system in Seattle. They say their loved one died while waiting for treatment. The VA denies the allegations in the suit. King's Meg Coyle has the story.
To hear Connie Olberg describe her big brother,
Cliff, my brother Cliff.
kinda makes you wish we all had a brother like him.
He was so calm and kind and a person who made an impact.
Donald Cliff Douglas was an Army veteran serving his country during the 1970s. That made him eligible for medical care through the VA. He'd already overcome a liver transplant. Then, in 2011,
It was just a little spot on his forehead.
it was melanoma. The doctor recommended surgery, but according to court documents, that operation wouldn't happen for 4 long months. And during that time,
Little tiny spot started growing rapidly.
Cliff called and called his case manager.
And telling her it was life or death, and for her not to care, and for you to be powerless. And that's the way my brother felt.
Connie says the referral never came. Cliff finally scheduled his own surgery outside of the VA. But it was too late.
I really want you to drink this.
The cancer had spread into his facial nerves, then his bloodstream. This is Connie and Cliff as she cared for him in his final weeks. November 1st, 2012, Cliff Douglas passed away.
I think back on that, and it's really hard because if I'd known.
Hard because Connie's convinced her brother didn't have to die. Court documents allege that if the reasonably prudent standard of care had been met by the VA, Mr. Douglas wouldn't have suffered such severe injury leading to his death.
I think about it all the time. I miss him all the time.
So Connie is determined to pick up where her brother left off, taking action she hopes saves lives.
This has got to stop, and it's going to stop.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER One News. We want to thank you for watching. Monday is Memorial Day, and we will be spending it with our families. There will be no television news, but we will return on Tuesday. From all of our families, have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Tuesday.